Hello, hello. Hashtag life, Day165. I was having a little think to myself today. As you may know, I've just come back off a little holiday. Went to a client friend's wedding in Tuscany and had a bit of a blowout. And I like I like certain types of food. I like chocolate, I like biscuits. And I'm one of those people that go one way or the other. You know, when I'm on the line and I'm really strict, I can follow a really strict diet, and when I'm not, I'm absolutely, I'll go the opposite direction. Let's get a slightly better light to look like a talking silhouette. Here we go. So I'm one of those people. I don't know if you're the same, but when I go off track, I realise again how addictive sugar is. You know, they talk about sugar being more addictive than potentially heroin. I've not tried that, but apparently it's really addictive, and from what we've all seen, I'm sure it is. And nicotine, and we all know how addictive that is, you know, possibly the most addictive drug on the planet. Well, sugar's right up there as well, but they don't ban that. That's not an illegal substance, just like nicotine, because there's a lot of money being made off it. And I think certain people, certain companies got into a position where they'd made a fortune off of people's addiction, and now big corporations are built and whole industries are built. So, point being, you choose your pain wisely. You choose your pain wisely. Isabel, how are you? Hope you're having a good day. Choose your pain wisely. And what do I mean by that? So you either choose to eat what you want, when you want, as much as you want, and pretty much have a pain in your stomach, maybe a pain in your head, maybe a pain in your joints if you're eating gluten and stuff like that, and you know you've got an issue with gluten, and you feel like crap, and you feel fat. So that's your pain, right? So you're choosing that pain on that side of it. So you're eating what you want and feeling pain on the other end of it. Or you choose another type of pain, which is resisting certain foods and certain amounts of food, and having control and resisting overeating certain things. And when you eat, so maybe you work with fasting or intermittent fasting. Maybe you have a period of your day where you're so busy you just don't have time to get the right foods in. So where's your pain? Choose your pain wisely, because on the other side of choosing your food wisely, that being your pain, so restricting from the things you really love, you know, you might like eating chocolate and biscuits like myself, but I choose not to do that because I know how that makes me feel, and also it doesn't get my body how I want it to look. I don't wake up and think, oh wow, I'm really glad I ate that pack of biscuits. I'm really glad I did that. In the moment I was, but it's like that old saying, you know, a moment of pleasure on the lips is probably about a month's worth of hard work on the hips. That's another one. So choose your pain wisely. You know, have a think about it. I have this similar thing where I was having a conversation with a friend today, and similar thing around exercise. You know, sometimes I'll think, I can't be bothered to exercise today. I don't want to exercise today. But every single time that I exercise, after the exercise, I think, I'm so glad that I exercised. I'm really so glad I exercised. My brain feels better. My body feels better. My work output is so much better. My mood is better. Virginie, how are you? Hope you had a good day. So choose your pain wisely, because there's a payoff or a pain on the other side of it. You can choose the pain. Generally what it is, if you choose the pain up front, so you resist the foods that you really want to eat, then you'll get a positive payoff on the back end. If you decide to go for the pleasure up front, so you eat and scoff your face with the foods that you really love the taste of, but you know aren't so good for you, you'll feel the pain on the back end. So choose where you want to feel the slight pain. And over time, it gets easier if you choose the pain up front. So let me tell you that. So I always talk about this. The first week is always the hardest of going on a real strict diet. So if you can get past that first week, you'll find it's much easier to stick to. And I gave you a little tip around that. You can use a fruit salad. Now, eating too much fruit is good for you, but not if you're carrying some excess body fat that you want to get rid of. So you want to cut the fruit out eventually, but for the first week you can absolutely use fruit as your fuel. I find it's less addictive than actual sugar if you're eating actual chocolate or biscuits and things like that, or sweets or whatever it is that's your tickle. So use fruit to leverage you through that first week, and then taper that out. Drop it out, and then I'll teach you the whole system around that another time of how to drop the body fat even further, and there's some great ways to do it. So anyway, choose your pain wisely. Usually when you do it up front, you resist the food, you resist those naughties, whatever they are. you'll get benefit. You'll wake up feeling fresher, leaner, look great, feel great, energy's good, training's going well, and maybe your sex drive's improved as well. Who knows? All these good things can happen here. But if you resist and go for if you don't resist and go for the pleasure up front, I'm going to scoff my face, and you get half an hour of really that, you know, explosion of taste, and maybe that uprush of feeling, that sugar rush, you'll get the negative on the back end of that. So choose it wisely. And I was thinking that today because I could have ate more. I thought, oh yeah, I could really eat some chocolate. An advert came on the TV and I thought, oh, that looks good, I could eat some of that. And then my mind started going, yeah, have a little bit of that. You know how it goes, right? But I thought, no, I'm not going to get my body back the way I like it, and I keep it like that most of the time. I'm not going to get it back if I break again. So enough is enough, and I choose the pain up front. I choose to deal with it right now. All right, let's end it on there. So if you want some real specific tips around diet, some real specific tips around mental and physical strength, because that's what I'm working on, mental and physical strength coaching. I'm creating a private group. So type private group if you're interested in some more information, or send me a private message and say private group, and I'll get you that information. It's going to be starting in the next few weeks, and it's going to be £1 a month. £1 a month, every month, and I guarantee you I will over deliver on that £1 a month. You'll get insights, you'll get webinars, you'll get interviews with some experts, you'll get special offers on products that are going to actually boost your mental and physical strength. If you're up for that, get involved. Community's growing, and we'll build it together, and let's have more of a conversation around these topics and get them handled so you can go about your day in a more productive way. Okay, Virginie, I'll come back to you on that one. We'll talk very soon. Have an amazing rest of the day, and always remember that happy is a skill that you can learn, and this is a better way. Choosing your pain wisely is a better way to bring out your personal best. Let's go get some health wealth, let's take the well with us, and enjoy the rest of the day. Look how amazing this is. I love where I live. Enjoy, guys.